Breaking news, Tropical Storm Alberto slams into the Texas coast, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Governor Greg Abbott has just declared a disaster emergency for 51 counties as entire neighborhoods disappear underwater. But this just isn't the beginning. Mexico is next in Alberto's crosshairs, and experts warn the worst may be yet to come. Stay tuned for our exclusive report on this unfolding catastrophe, and don't miss my final thought on why every American should be paying attention. Good evening, I'm Angie reporting on this catastrophic impact of Tropical Storm Alberto on the Texas coast. This isn't just another storm, folks. We're witnessing a monster that's making what meteorologists are calling a monster splash. Let's dive right into the heart of this disaster. According to NBC's Sam Brock, Alberto is drenching southern Texas and Louisiana, leaving residents like Roy Scott pleading with their neighbors to take this seriously. Take a look.
Alberto making a monster splash this morning, kicking off what's predicted to be a record hurricane season. The tropical storm moving over the coast of Mexico, but managing to drench southern Texas and Louisiana in the process. The Texas governor declaring a severe weather disaster as residents like Roy Scott urge neighbors to take the storm seriously.
No. I said, if you go out there in the bay, if you go out there, you're going to die.
Vacationers in Freeport, Texas were greeted by a wall of water at their front door. How high was the water?
Thigh high.
Yeah, at least mid-thigh. Yeah, it was hard.
As some tried to evacuate, others opted to ride out the storm. Cars and trucks trying to make their way through the blinding rains. The rising waters even prevented ambulances from reaching stranded homes. Trying to get your ambulance into a lot of these neighborhoods, how difficult is it?
It's impossible. There are some back there, some houses that are almost completely underwater.
Rains were also inundating roadways in Louisiana, like Highway 1 in Lafourche, just the beginning of what's expected to be a powerful and punishing hurricane season. And experts are predicting this may end up being the busiest hurricane season on record due to unusually strong ocean heat. NOAA forecasting in the range of 17 to 25 named storms, and they're predicting 8 to 13 of them will become hurricanes. Craig, back to you.
All right, Sam Brock for us there in Texas. Sam, thanks.
All right, all eyes at 7:08 on Al Roker. Where's that thing headed out?
Well, guys, it's already making its way into Texas, or into Mexico, I should say. And this pointing out the fact you don't need a hurricane or even a major tropical storm to cause big problems right now. It is making its way in. And we've got also what we've got to hear is tornado watches for the central part of Texas all the way to the south, Brownsville, Laredo, Corpus Christi. We're going to be watching that. Rainfall just about done as far as the heaviest, but you get any more rain, it is going to cause a little bit of flooding. Now to the heat, 65 million people from Grand Rapids down to Charleston, Bangor, down to Salisbury, Maryland under heat advisories, heat watches and warnings. We've also got about 30 million folks out west as well. Air quality problems. 47 million of us from Chicago to Boston looking at problems with our air quality. Temperatures today, it's going to feel like 96 in Buffalo, 94 in Boston, 91 in Elkins, Indianapolis, 95 degrees. And the heat wave continues as we move into tomorrow with it feeling like 95 in New York City, near 100 in Nashville, St. Louis, 99. Moving into the weekend, some hot, some not. It depends on where you are along this frontal system. If you're south of it, it stays hot. So Columbus, right through Monday, temperatures into the upper 80s, low 90s. St. Louis, mid to upper 90s. But Boston, you cool down. Saturday, 74 degrees. Philadelphia, though, staying into the 90s. Norfolk, Virginia, temperatures into the mid 90s as well. So this summer swelter continues, guys, into early next week.
As you can see, the situation in Freeport, Texas is dire. Vacationers found themselves trapped with water levels reaching mid-thigh. It's not just an inconvenience, it's a matter of life and death. Ambulances can't even reach some of the hardest hit areas, but it's not just Freeport. The destruction stretches from Brownsville all the way up to Galveston. We're talking about a massive swath of the Texas coast under siege from Alberto's relentless assault. Governor Greg Abbott has declared a disaster emergency for 51 counties. That's right, 51. The state is working overtime with local agencies, deploying resources and personnel to South Texas. But is it enough? Let's take a look at more footage from the ground, courtesy of Fox 4 Dallas-Fort Worth. Take a look.
Flooding stretched from Brownsville up to Galveston. Several inches of rain are expected in some areas, and storms associated with Alberto have initiated tornado warnings. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager continues our coverage. Peyton.
Steve, Governor Abbott says the state worked with local agencies in deploying the resources and personnel down to South Texas. Some North Texas first responders, including Flower Mound Fire and North Richland Hills Fire, were already in place this morning, ready to help. Wednesday, Tropical Storm Alberto, the first named storm of the hurricane season, took aim at South Texas and Mexico, bringing flash flooding and high winds to coastal counties. Some areas could see up to a foot or more of rain. Governor Abbott issued a disaster declaration for 51 counties Wednesday. Tropical storm warnings remain in place from Galveston to Brownsville. Torrential rain was seen in Rockport. Drone footage shows the storm surge that put the small beach town of Treasure Island in Brazoria County underwater. This video shows just how high the water reached this truck near the San Luis Pass, about 25 miles outside of Galveston.
I woke up, there's power on, and get ready for work, and come out here and there's nothing but water. Can't even leave my neighborhood.
15 miles south, this cell phone video was taken in Surfside Beach as the flooding threatened homes and businesses.
We found this guy trying to pull his truck and trailer out, and he was stuck, axle stuck. I just pulled him out and got him up onto the highway.
First responders from North Texas are being sent to help. North Richland Hills Fire deployed crews to Victoria, and members of the Flower Mound Fire Department are staged in San Antonio. Down in South Padre Island, people are seeing flooding in places where it doesn't normally occur.
I think it could have been much worse. I hate to say that because it's pretty bad right now. I just, we've just never been through anything like this before, and we're just going to have to take it one day at a time.
And like Dan mentioned, Tropical Storm Alberto is on track to make an early morning landfall in eastern Mexico. Then it's expected to weaken.
This video shows the true scale of Alberto's impact. Drone footage reveals the small beach town of Treasure Island in Brazoria County completely submerged. In Surfside Beach, homes and businesses are under threat. We're seeing flooding in places that have never experienced it before. First responders from North Texas are being sent to help, with North Richland Hills Fire deployed to Victoria and Flower Mound Fire Department staged in San Antonio. But they're facing an uphill battle against nature's fury. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is forecasting 17 to 25 named storms this season, with 8 to 13 potentially becoming hurricanes. Alberto is just the first, and it's already pushing our emergency services to the limit. As we speak, tornado watches are in effect for central Texas, stretching from Bronzeville to Laredo and Corpus Christi. The threat isn't over. Even as the heaviest rainfall subsides, any additional precipitation could trigger more flooding. And let's not forget, while Texas grapples with Alberto, Mexico is bracing for impact. The storm knows no borders, and its destructive path is far from over. The question on everyone's mind, is this the new normal? Are we prepared for what could be the busiest hurricane season on record? If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. America, take note. Alberto's fury shows us our emergency systems, while robust, are being pushed to their limits. Governor Abbott's disaster declaration is a prime example of leadership, freeing up crucial resources when they're needed most. But this storm is a wake-up call. We must continue to strengthen our preparedness and response capabilities, because when nature strikes, it strikes hard. Today it's Texas and Mexico in Alberto's crosshairs. Tomorrow it could be your community. Are we ready to face these challenges head on?
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.